Hi, in this video, we will see how to create a multi-agent workflows in Azure AI Foundry. So here in this video, I'm going to show you a lab session where we're going to create an instance of Azure AI Foundry Services in my Azure, and then we're going to deploy a foundation model. We're going to elevate that foundation model and create a base agent. So we're going to create a base agent by using that model deployment, and then within that agent we're going to create a connected workflows, or basically create another agent which is also deployed by using another reference foundation models. And then likewise, we're going to build a chain of multi-agent workflows. Basically here, instead of elevating a single agent, we're going to build a multiple agents, and then we're going to orchestrate these multiple agents so that they basically act as a workflow and works in a conjunction in a asynchronous manner and delivers the expected result. So here, this is how basically we're going to deliver a multi-agent workflows in Azure AI Foundry Services. And this is an example how multi-agent or basically multi-agentic AI will be generated or designed here. So this is the example that will mimic such scenarios. Here we will see how we can use the Azure AI Foundry UI and also the code, that is Azure Python SDKs, to build the multi-agent workflows. And then we see the practical demo of this particular lab session here. So I'm in my Azure portal. If you see here, I have deployed an instance of um, Azure AI Foundry Services. Now we're going to access these services and try to deploy it first using the UI. So UI is very straightforward. We open the Azure AI Foundry project that we created. Then it will take you to here to the overview pages. To build an agent, we need a models. So we're going to go to the model, and we deploy a model here by using the UI options. So click on deploy AI, deploy base models, or basically foundation models. Here I'm going to use a very basic, GPT model, and then we use that GPT model to create the agent here. So I'm just showing you as an example, but in your case, you can use the foundation model as per your need. So here we're going to use a GPT 401, or basically the GPT 401 mini. So let's use the GPT. We can use either of the ones. So I'm going to prefer the this one, that is GPT 401, and click on a confirm here. And then that gives you the option where you can give the deployment name. Let it be GPT 401 and keep it default. So basically what we have done is we have opted an instance of GPT 4.1 model from Azure AI Foundry within our project. Now we're going to use this deployment to create an agent. So that becomes an agent with a brain, right? So agent is nothing but it's a service which will enable you with a knowledge, right? With the basically, yeah, highly fundamentalized knowledge, right? So agent is nothing but it's powered by LLM, large language model. So we have deployed this model. Now we're going to use this model to create an agent here. So there are a lot of options here that you can directly use it. But I want to use it as a wrapper on the agent. So we're going to go to the agent here, and we deploy an agent by using that particular model. So I will take you to the agent. So this is where we keep now going into the step where you're going to basically deploy the agents, right? So to create an agent, we're going to see options here. So it looks like by default it has deployed the agent one, which is good. Now I'm going to create a one agent. Click on create new agent basically. So it's click on a new agent. So if I click on a new agent, looks like it's auto creating it, but fine. That's fine. Basically, it's using the available options. So why it is creating a new agent? Because we have only one the foundation model being deployed. So once you click on a just add button, that's it. It just creates it. Okay. But if you have a multiple foundation model deployed, maybe it will pop up the messages that it needs. So far now, just to start with the multi-agent orchestration, this is fair enough. So here I'm going to make 648. So this agent 648 is my main agent, while 529 and 749 are my, like, basically are my the um, orchestrating basically tools kind of agents. One is a master agent that orchestrates the sub agents based on the conditions based on the prompt information that is being asked here. So that's the reason my diagram was like that when I was explaining the basic about it. So here, let's try to give instructions to this agent so that it behaves like our, the agent. Okay. So here, what I do is, I'm gonna copy paste the content so that I save the time here. So I have this information. So my agent, okay. So basically, right now I want to build an agent called stock price boost, and so I want to basically train that agent so that it will help me to give some informations on the stock prices, right? So what for that reason, I'm just copy pasting the instructions, right? So down the line, that is something we're going to see it with programmatic as well in the later section of the course, later section of this particular, the lab session. So here for now, I'm giving the instructions like this, all right, and then yeah. So description also you can give it, but does not matter. Whatever description you can give it, fine. Description is not important, instruction is important. So we're going to give the instruction saying like, hey agent, 529, you are basically you are basically what is that, stock broker agent basically, right? So can I change this name here? So let me change it as stock messenger, or basically stock agent. Let me call it as a stock agent, and I'm going to say this up. So basically what we have done is we have an agent called stock agent, and that is powered by GPT 4.1 version. So that is one of my tool in the main orchestration, right? So let me rename the first agent so that we get the confusion, we get over the confusion, right? So this is, let me call it as a master agent. So let's call this as master agent, right? And then I'm going to say this off. I'm going to instruct it later cases, right? So I have another agent as well. So basically I have three agents. So by here, what I do is, I will say you are weather forecast, you are weather forecast, analyst. Um, you gonna help us. So you're gonna help us with the weather information available from the genuine sites in the internet. So this is very detailed instructions. So you are a weather forecast analyst, right? So you're gonna help us with the weather informations available from the genuine sites in the internet. So that is the instruction I have given it, and let me rename it as weather forecast agent. So we need to rename it as weather forecast agent here, right? So let's say weather agent. Let me say as weather agent. Okay, and then I'm gonna save it basically. So here, what we have done is, we have created three agents. One I have annotated it as master agent. The other two, I wanted them to be doing a certain jobs as a tools. So and doing a jobs of stock analysis, stock market analysis. One doing the weather forecast. Okay, think like this is generally browsed informations in the internet, right? So now I'm going to train the master agent. So to master agent, I'm going to give a very generic information. So I have some informations like this. So I will call this, I will give this as the instructions to my master agent, right? So I'm going to go ahead and try to give this information, right? So here I'm just copy pasting because so that I avoid the typing here. So you are a helpful agent, use the available tools to get the strike process and also the weather forecast, right? Prices and also weather forecasts, right? Forecasts. Okay, so this is the information I have given to the our master agent. That is not enough. We go down, so that is where the actual thing happens here. Now we built the three agents, but all the three agents are independent. Now I need to connect them each other, so that's the reason we have an option called connected agents. So this also you can give it, but again, so here is where the stock agent, right? So give the unique name. So here I need to give as the the stock underscore agent multi workflow MW. So here detail step. So we can give the detail step is nothing but detail step when this detail steps to activate this agent. So describe the specific condition under which the agent should be activated, such as details possible. So I will say that discussion like use this agent when the stock related queries. So queries are asked. Okay, so I'm giving very basic instruction like when this tool has to be used. When there is a words related to a stock, use this tool. So that is how I'm orchestrating or instructing the main agent to do the job. Similarly, I'm going to add another connected agent. So how does this behaves is basically it's not linked to each other one after, but these are linked in a parallel wise. So we're going to use the another agent, that is weather forecast agent. So I will call it as weather agent. Weather underscore agent MW, that is multi-agent, multi-workflows. Okay, so when should this will be working? Let's give the instruction as use this agent when weather weather informations are asked, right? So this is very generic information I have given. So this is fair enough for the master agent to orchestrate the queries. All right, so with that options I have added the two tools are basically two connected agents to the master the agent. So let me say this off. So all set. Now we have done the changes. So it says that all set, there are no changes. Okay. Now with this option, let's try to query this master agent from the playground. So basically, I'm going to open the playground. So this is the time now to test our multi-agent workflow. So we build the multi-agent workflows by doing a lot of things here. All right. So here, now you see that in the right hand side there is a playground for master agent. Remember that this should be master agent, or else you might encounter the error. Now we have elevated this master agent to use the two tools. One is use the weather forecast, and also act as a stock market agent. Alright, so now let me ask the questions. One question related to the the stock price. The another question is related to the weather forecast. Okay, so let me ask this thing like, can you tell me the weather forecast of NY city today? All right, so this is very basic. The weather forecast question. So I'm going to ask it here. So let's see, if this master agent is enabled here to use the tools that is we have integrated here in this master tool. And if you see it here, right? So it identified the question. It also identified that hey, I have some knowledge or I have a tool that I need to use it to give the correct response. So that's the reason. If you see here, it has rightly predicted the New York City's the forecast today, and that is what exactly we have got the response. That is today's weather forecast for New York City is mostly sunny like that. And if you want to understand whether it is really using the tool or not, so you can click on this tool box. Click on this tool, the workflow, so it will show you those the tools used. Okay, so you see that there is a one connected tools are being used. If you click on a view information, click on this the connected agent, and it has rightly pointed to that workflow, that is weather agent mflow, right? So basically what I mean to say that it has used that agent rightly, right? Now let's try to ask the stock. So I will say what is the stock price of Microsoft today, right? I'm going to ask this question. Let's say what is the stock price of Microsoft today. So why I'm asking this question stock, because this has to point to a connected agent belongs to this connected agent to the master agent here. So I'm expecting that it has to retrieve the right answers because we have trained that agent. So if you see here, it looks like it has retrieved by using our internet available information. So it says that as of the June 2024, looks like the agent I have used, we trained very old back. Don't worry about this one. So main thing that you have to learn here is how an intelligent multi-agent workflow can be built, or basically how multi-agent orchestrations can be built with using the Azure AI Foundry. So that is the point here. So basically it has retrieved the informations as well. So you can also view the run as well, and it will point to the our agent. Remember that we have built the three agents using the so we have built the three agent using the single foundation model. But generally, multi-agent models or multi-agent workflows will be powered by different LLMs. So you could expect the different answers, right answers. And again, the agents will be trained with using, or basically the deployments of the models will be trained with using the enterprise data as well. So your agent will also become a very intelligent enough. So likewise, now let me do a last test. That is, I'm going to ask the questions by using both the agents. Okay. So I will say, tell me, what is the weather forecast of Bangalore? Weather forecast of Bangalore, and then Bangalore, and then what is stock stock price of Tesla today? So I'm asking the question that is related to the two workflows. Let's see, what it basically decides and how does it guess the answer. Honestly, I don't know. Let's see, how does it behaves. Okay, so Bangalore, I'm going to use the right words. All right, so then let's try to run this question and see, how does it behaves. So I don't know what it happens. So I'm also, doing this, the experiment right away. So looks like it is actually looking to the references. It looks like, it has a capability that it can connect to the different connected agents and give the right response. So looks like it has done the job. If you see here, so it has got the the Bangalore's weather forecast as well, and it also got the the stock price of Tesla as well. So basically, if you see here, the tools that it has used is not both the agents. So you can always click on this one and try to see the connected. You see that the last run is this one, and the connected response, it has connected to the both the agents. So this is how basically we can elevate the the multi-agent orchestration in the Azure AI Foundry to build a very intelligent workflows for solving your business cases. Now we have seen it via UI. Let's see it um, with using the Python SDK as well. Now I'm going to walk you through the source code, which will do this lab programmatically. So here you need to understand how this lab, that is multi-agent workflows in Azure AI Foundry, works with the APIs. So that is where actually we use in applications. So that is what I'm going to walk you through now. So this is very simple Python script which will use the Azure Python SDKs and build this multi-agent workflows in the Azure AI Foundry. So here you see that I have 4 imports in the script. That is OS. I'm not using OS, by the way. So here is the Azure AI projects, then Azure AI agent models, and then we have the Azure identity because we want to authenticate the Python SDK. So we want the identity plus Azure AI, the Python modules are being used here. And then out of those models, we have imported AI projects, AI project client, connected agent tool, messages, and default credentials. So that is what we are using it here. So if you see this, the next line, that is creating the initialize the client for your AI for your Azure AI Foundry project. So this is where we are using the the Azure AI project client, that is the your project endpoint, and then point your credentials to the default credentials, or if you are using SPN or some other methods of credentials, the authentication, you can put in there here. So that's where your project client gets created. So project client is a foundational client in this code, in this Python SDK based code, and then from there we are creating the agents, connecting the agents, and calling the agents for giving the response as well. Now the next code is basically, it talks about creating a connected agent that gets the stock price. So first one, it is creating the our assistance tool. So if you see this response, basically it's create a stock price agent that we have seen manually by creating in the portal. So here it uses the client plus agent and creates an agent. So the model, so I have deployed the GPT-4.1 as a model. So we are using that, and the name of this particular the assistant agent is stock price bot. The instruction is very simple. That is, hey, you are a stock agent, give me the the real time stock price. That is what basically instruction is been given. Now the next one is connected agent. So basically this is the code which actually creates agent connections. All right, and if you see here, so it's a connected agent tool. Basically this is a still dormant in this line of code. This is basically still dormant kind of piece of code which will be used down the line. So here connected agent tool is nothing but now here you are again creating a client here by referencing the agent created above, giving a name and giving a certain description. So now connected agent will be used where while you create a master agent. The master agent creation is here. Let me select those parts. So this is a space where we are creating the master agent. So that is create a main agent that uses the connected tool, right? So that is what basically is the code. So this is a piece of code which creates our, the main agent that uses the connected tool. So it uses the client ID if you see here, that is project client, dot agent, create agent, then model name is this one. But only thing changes here is the tools equal to connected agent and the definitions that we have given from above. Right. So with that, now I'm just using the decorators to print the statements. And then here we are creating a new thread for the conversion. So basically when you create an agent works on threads so that it supports a multi or basically it supports asynchronous requests. So that's the reason we are creating a thread here. So with using that thread, we are actually adding a messages to the thread, right? So this is an approach how you can call it asynchronously. So not only one application, many applications can talk to this particular agent. That's the reason the thread is been created here. So we are using the project line again, and then agents.message create the message in the thread, right? And the role is nothing but message user. So user is asking to the agent saying like what is the stock price of Microsoft today, right? And then that message is basically if you see here, so we are using this message and message has an ID. And then down the line, we are basically run the agent on the thread. So if you see the line number 51 here, so we are running that thread. Okay, so if you see here, so that is what we are running the thread here. Um, and then checking if that, we created a thread. Now thread is been incorporated with a message or basically kind of a prompt question. And then we are running that thread on the agent, right? So that is what we are doing it here. And then once the thread has been run, what we are doing is basically we are getting the response. So we are getting the response down the line. Let me scroll down slightly so that you observe it here. So here is where you are checking the status of the the run, that is thread run, right? Then basically after the thread status is successful, we're going to retrieve the messages of respective agent with this using the convention. That's it, right? So you can look into the source code. I'm going to share this source code in the video description. Try to experiment it with you from your laptop. You should be able to get it. So it's not a deep, basically not a deep any kind of logic being added here. We're just a simple extracting the messages down the line. So basically, once the status is successful, so this is where we are retrieving all messages by using the project client agent messages, right? So we have the messages list here. So that messages list is passed through a for loop, and from the for loop, we are getting the message content. So then extract so if there are any latest messages, that also will be extracted here by using the another thread, right? So that's all about the source code, and the source code will be shared in the video description. You can find it. Now I'm going to click on run this code and we see, how does this code responds. So before we run this code, if you have seen my screen, I have left my screen here so that you understand that, we have set the context of my Azure by using the Azure AZ hyphen, Azure basically AZ login hyphen use device code. So basically I have logged into the Azure with using my Google Chrome. Now within the Google Chrome, I have the session here. So I want to reuse that session. So that's the reason we can use the you can use the basically AGCLI command called AG login hyphen hyphen use device code. So once you have established the connection with your device, and this is what response it should give, which means that you have set the context of your account in this laptop. Now you can run this code peacefully. The code should again, and let's see this time if it goes through. So we are basically executing this script to create the agents. So if you see that it has created a main agent, it created a thread now. It also created a message within that thread, and it has finished the invocation as well, and the invocation status is complete. The question the user has asked is ignore about the order, but user has asked here that, hey, what is the stock price of the Microsoft? That is what the question has been asked. And the assistant, nothing but the agent that we have created here programmatically, it has given the response that Microsoft, the share price today is approximately $415, right? And that is what the response it has got through. So exactly. So basically, this is how I have shown you that the agents. Okay, how we can create a multi-agent workflows in the Azure AI Foundry. Now, I wanted to show you another thing before I conclude. That is basically the agents that we created with using the Python SDKs are now listed here. That is my agent and stock price bots have been created, and other side, we are getting the response as expected. So this is how basically you can create with using the Python SDKs. The here importance is all about how to use the code to invoke the the multi-agent workflows. That is important part of this particular code, and how to retrieve the response. That is also a pretty important the thing that you need to understand, right? So we have given you a piece of code that you can explore from your side and try to learn how to build and use Microsoft the Azure AI Foundry Services based multi-agent purpose. With that note, thank you very much for watching my videos. A kind request, please do subscribe my channel. That would really encourage me a lot. With that note, thank you. Thanks a lot and see you in the next video.